Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at the 2022 Subaru BRZ, or BRZ if you're from the UK. And yeah, this is a joint collaboration between Toyota and Subaru, as we have already looked at the Toyota GR86, both of which are part of their second generation of the platform that they share. Although this was started production in July 2021, whereas the GR86 started production in October 2021. So this started slightly earlier. I'm not sure why, because I imagine they were in the same factory, given that they are practically the same car. So yeah, they say they share the same gearbox, they share the same driveline, the same engine. Most of the bodywork is the same, and they are practically the same weight as well, as this weighs 2,835 pounds. Which is apparently only 24 pounds more than the GR86. So, not quite sure why. Maybe it's got a slightly more complex front bumper, because that's the only real big difference between the two. Or maybe there's an extra safety component on there or something. But yeah, they do all look the same, and especially at the rear. But yeah, I like the look of the car anyway. To be honest, I think this Subaru looks slightly better than the GR86. Purely because I think the slightly smaller, more discreet grille works in its favour. It makes the rest of the car look, come out of itself, quite frankly. But yeah, like I said, they share pretty much everything the same. So we've got the same 2.4 litre flat 4 engine, producing 228 horsepower and 184 pounds-feet of torque. So yeah, that's the same amount of horsepower and torque as the GR86 as well. And yeah, the interior is pretty much the same as well. It's basically two companies coming together to pool their resources to make something that on the surface on their own wouldn't necessarily be much of a success. Toyota have done this also with BMW, with the likes of the Toyota GR Supra and the BMW Z4. So yeah, Toyota have form for doing this. They're not the only company though to share a platform, an engine and driveline and transmission with one another. Mazda have also done it with the MX-5 and the Fiat Abarth 124 Spider. So yeah, this isn't anything new for a big company to make a small volume sports car with another company, and it makes perfect sense. You're splitting the costs in half. You're lowering production costs because you're splitting them across two companies, and yeah, just makes perfect sense really, because these kind of cars are not going to sell in massive volume. They are going to be selling quite low volume. They're not massively expensive either, so yeah, you don't have massive profit margins with these either, so it makes perfect sense. So yeah, let's get out onto the open road and see what this car can do. So yeah, acceleration times for this car are practically the same with the GR86, so yeah, this drag strip isn't going to be too different to the one that we did with the Toyota, but let's see what it can do before we hit the speed camera, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, the power and the torque and the acceleration have never been the main selling point of these cars, although we do have definitely more in the way of power and torque over the previous generation. And that is purely down to the fact that it's got a larger engine. So that's 113 mile an hour thereabouts. So yeah, the larger engine was chosen, like I said in my Toyota review, to give the car more torque, rather than stick on a turbocharger, which would ruin the feeling of the car and make it more expensive to make. They opted for a slightly larger engine to provide slightly more in the way of torque, and yeah, that low-end torque is really beneficial in terms of making it a far better car off the line, far better car in terms of initial acceleration, and yeah, it means that you don't have to deal with anything like turbo lag or anything like that as well. So can fully see why they went for the slightly larger engine, and it does, they'll go quite frankly against the kind of typical market kind of thing at the moment, where a lot of cars nowadays are downsizing their engines. So yeah, a bit surprising that Toyota and Subaru went for that kind of thing. But yeah, let's take a look at the stats, but we'll also take a look at the looks of the vehicle. And as you can see, there is a difference in terms of looks when it comes to the front bumper. I think also the wheels are slightly different, but yeah, they're the only real changes in terms of looks. But yeah, as you can see by the stats, all fairly good. But even the braking is fairly solid, which is obviously helped by the fact it doesn't weigh all that much. But yeah, the handling, acceleration and the speed are all the main plus points with this car. So yeah, let's get it out onto the track and see just what it can do. But yeah, it's just like the GR86 in terms of how fun it is to drive. It's very simple in terms of its, in terms of its mechanics. There's nothing really complex here. But nonetheless, let's hear what it sounds like, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, it's a nice sounding engine, and yeah, quite frankly this second generation is miles better than the previous generation, purely because of that engine. It just makes the whole car a lot better to drive, although I quite clearly can't drive it that well because I crashed slightly there. But yeah, that's just because this car is a very simple car in terms of its mechanics. Like I said, there's no all-wheel drives, you've got no rear-wheel steering, you've got no complex driving systems or anything like that. It's just a pure sports car that just so happens to be a modern one with modern engineering going on as well. So yeah, but it's still a pretty decent car in terms of acceleration. 0 to 60 in 5.384 seconds, 0 to 13.6 seconds, sorry, and it will go to a top speed of 147 miles an hour. Now those acceleration times are practically the same as the GR86, although that car is apparently 2 miles an hour quicker at the top end, maybe because of the way the shape of the front bumper is, I'm not sure. But regardless, there's not really any difference in between them at all, really. It's all it's going to come down to with these two cars is going to be brand loyalty and whether or not you like the front bumper or not. That's basically it. So yeah, but me personally, I think there's a third different way to look at it, and that is, boxer engines have been the norm for Subaru for a very, very long time. And this does obviously have a boxer engine with its flat 4 engine, and I think that kind of makes it more of a Subaru than a Toyota as far as I'm concerned. Now granted, obviously Toyota have had a long history with sports cars, whereas Subaru, outside of their obviously Impreza brand, Impreza models haven't really, and they haven't done any kind of sports coupe that I've seen before. So yeah, that's more of a Toyota thing, but overall I think the heart of this car is the engine, and that is definitely something that's more of a Subaru engine than a Toyota engine. So yeah, but regardless, it is practically the same car as the Toyota, and therefore you know what you're getting in for. Simple, basic, easy to drive sports car that is fun to drive and isn't too complex to get your head around either. So yeah, I'm glad it's in the game, although it is a little bit pointless because obviously the GR86 is already in this game. But this is also on Forza Motorsport, and yeah, you can get this car in this game by getting 20 points in the festival playlist, so it's easy to get. I will be doing a video on Forza Motorsport of this car where we'll be racing it around a track. Not sure which one yet, but figured given it's a more than competent track car as well as a on-road sports car, it'll be nice to see what it can do on that game as well. So look out for a video on that. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.